opportunity that I can come before you this morning, and each and every one of you here today, all of our ministers, Minister, and Bishop and Pastor Mary Rose, to Minister, Pastor King, and Sister York, and all of the group that are here, Judy, Chef, the children, Anisha being here. Thank God. We allowed her to come back over here safely. The millions of gallons of water. Some things will be taken for granted. It's only God's grace and mercy. And I thank God, because I always remember what He told me, and I wrote it down somewhere here in my Bible. And many times, you know, in this Christian journey, you go through some struggles and some things. But I wrote it down. I don't know if it's this particular Bible, but on that particular morning when I was asleep, and the voice of the Lord was on April 16, 2013, when He said, in still small voice, and I opened up my eyes, when I am in doubt, I must look at myself. So when the devil comes with a lot of things to make me doubt, or try to make me doubt, I look at myself. For I know I'm alive. Not because doctors or medication, I'm alive because of God's grace and His mercy. And I am alive because my work ain't finished yet. He tried all he could this week, from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. But I look at myself, I said, I'm in the ring. You can fall and knock me down. Try to knock me down, I will get up. And that's what I did. I fought. I fought with it this week, and I say, God, you know, the devil come at us when he know he can't get you out in the world to do some things. He come at us with so many different things that we have to be strong. We have to be strong. And as we are in our Women's Month, and women, we ought to be privileged, and we ought to give God thanks, because there are some ministries that women cannot stand on the pulpit. All they are there for, reason unknown. Maybe just to look pretty, or to say, well, I am the wife of so-and-so, but I thank God. And you have churches right here in this town where a woman cannot stand in a pulpit and preach to a man. But I thank God for practical life, and I thank God for this opportunity that Bishop Rolle look at us as vessels. Male nor female, but vessels. But we as women, we know our place. We can have hard mouth sometimes, but we know our place. And we know that we are not in charge. God made man in charge. Somebody asked me, how do I feel about this gender equality and all of this? I said, being a teacher, a noun is the name of a person, place, or thing. I'm a person, and this school is a place. Yes. So if you mix with God's creation, you become a thing. You are a thing. If you try to become a man in a woman's body, and you are a thing. And that's my opinion, because you don't mess with God's creation. And so this morning, seeing that this message is right before the honor banquet for myself, Pastor Rolle, Sister Stewart, Minister King, I'm going to deal with that. Thanks, Pastor, for appreciating us. Thank you, Practical Life, for appreciating us. And so even though we have a topic here, women favored by God, I'm just going to use a subtopic, a woman's value. A woman's value. You have to value yourself. We have some value. We can do some things that men cannot do. God didn't create them to do. And men can do some things that we cannot do. We have value in our homes. We should have it. we should have value in our churches, in our community. And so I was thinking, and I read in the scripture, I was looking in the Old Testament and I was thinking about women who were in the New Testament who are favored by God, and I was trying to come up with something, and when I read Romans 16, and where Paul used these two verses, 1 and 2, and this was the first time this woman's name was mentioned, according to what I studied in the Bible, only in the first and second verse. So Bishop Rolle is doing a good thing for us on Friday night.
That's in the program.
Yeah?
What you've been reading on the program.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Confirmation.
That I commend unto you Phoebe, our sister, which is a servant of the church, which is at Cenchrea, if I am pronouncing it right, that ye receive her in the Lord as becoming saints, and that ye assist her in whatsoever business she had need of you. For she had been, I don't know, superior of many and of myself also.
Yes.
That's what Paul said, woman of God. And so, a woman's value came to me, and I said, because of the honor banquet that Bishop Rolle, a Practical Life Family, had for us leading women in this ministry. And I don't care who comes after us, for history knows that is us four who are in the ministry, who started out the ministry with Bishop Rolle. History will say that. So the world may put us down, but God has lifted us up. You might not be anything to your family and your community or wherever, but God has lifted us up. The world may expect the impossible, but God comes to us with grace and in heart that accepts us for who we are. For we are important to God in many ways. And like I said in Romans chapter 16, 1 and 2, Phoebe was a first century deaconess. Now the word diakonon means deacon. And so in some history, people said that she was the first deaconess or the first deacon that was mentioned in the Bible. For Paul the apostle, in his epistle to the Romans, verses 1 and 2, he said that she is a notable woman.
Right.
So we have to be notable for Bishop and the church to do this for us. She's a notable woman in the church. She was trusted by Paul to deliver his letter to the Romans.
That's correct.
Bishop Rolle, give me something and it's not sealed. I might want to open it. Eh? But Paul trusted her so much, this woman of God. And her name meant pure, bright, radiant as the moon. This woman worked in the church of the Lord. Paul said to receive our sister Phoebe. She was a benefit to many people.
Yes.
She was a benefit to many people. And when we come up here and we preach, when we witness the persons wherever we go, we can become and be our benefit to many people. So ladies, this morning we are a benefit to Practical Life Ministry. When Bishop Rolle came up with this, and he said, I don't like to be in the forefront. In those days, way back then, when I was more vain, I would not mind. And when he came up with this, and I said, but you know, I worked in many churches and none never did this for me. I was Voice of Deliverance Choir Director for 11 years, traveled with them, sometimes walk into choir practice. Nothing. they mentioned my name, I understood over and over if Sister Rollins was here, but Sister Rollins ain't there. But I am saying that Bishop is doing this, so that means we are a benefit. I am. Say you are a benefit to the ministry. You are a woman of value in this ministry. Phoebe's name characterized her Christian life and her personality. Paul refers to her as a sister. She was a member of the Christian church. She served in the church, and she faithfully served. No complaints. She faithfully served. Only 2 verses in the Bible. Romans 16, 1 and 2. And when I studied her background, this is all the things that they were saying concerning Phoebe, mentioned once in the Bible, according to my knowledge.
Yes, it is.
But this woman was a worker in the church. So when we go on Friday, God's willing, we have something to lift our hands about and something to